I just realized the song's called Cocaine Model. Wow. All right, Devin G. You in chat? I think you're in chat. I saw you say hi earlier. So, what is up, dude? So, this is your recent piece here. Oh, what is happening with the... There we go. Man, I kind of want to... Let me keep scrolling down here. I kind of want to see this in motion. I like that you've broken down all these things just to look at. Oh, man. Your artstation.com/artist/DG. That's an awesome design. Did you know that you don't need the dash artist anymore? So you can just like get rid of the artist part and just be dash or / your username. Okay, so right off the bat, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with the albedo stuff in here. It's kind of hard to get across in our streams or in our talks in the Discord and stuff. Oh, which Laura, you should totally get in there, man. There's so much information floating around and discussions to be had. So see that area? That's like all black information. If you were to get like if you were to just apply like a ambient lighting or ambient light in there and just raise it up. Woogie, what's up, man? Hey, Reeds. How you doing? That would fill those shadows in, and then you wouldn't lose that information. Because right now, that's basically black, so there's no information in there. The coolest thing in here, to me, is this water stuff, or whatever that dude. It's like crazy. This is why I want to see it in motion. I want to see that stuff moving, which I don't know if it's moving or not. The wall pieces, I mean, all the way it's been constructed is probably how you should approach. Oh man, there's all types of crazy stuff going on in that sarcophagus. Ambient light is fake? What do you mean, Mr. Barbarian? How you've approached creating the assets and placing them is like this set. That's good. This is good stuff. To think too, because you have all these pieces. If you're to make like, so you have here. We're gonna go crazy with this because I think I'm going crazy. So you've got this square piece right here, right, and then you've got a pillar. If you we're going blackboard mode. Think about this as 1 and this is 2. We'll do this. So from the top down, that piece is like that, right? And then top down, this one's like this. So this is a pillar. To think, if you were to add a third piece, that's like a corner, right? And then maybe like an inverse of that corner. You could then like build walls, turn corners. The inverse piece would turn that corner, another wall here. You could place pillars where you want. You can place that sarcophagus. You could build whole scenes, you know what I mean? It would get crazy so fast. That was super bright of a transition, Jesus. I'm glad your background wasn't full white. It's just kind of like a light gray. So this is also really cool. Is that your high poly or your... So I actually can't hang on here. I can't tell if that's... So it looks like that was baked down. So this is your high. This is a cool way of doing this because like A lot of people are like, how do you make all those details and stuff? It's like you could really just make shapes, right? That you want to see and just place them. It doesn't have to be like, I remember a long time ago, people thought you had to like merge everything and it had to be like airtight and perfect and the topology had to be flawless. That view is like so dead. It's like crazy. Heard work was tough? Nah, man. It wasn't tough. It was just work, you know? You get really invested in what you do. And sometimes you push your creativity and your like ability to go as fast as possible right to the edge. And then you get home and the last thing you want to do is look at a computer. That's all it is. But then at the same time, how gratifying, right? When you finish what you're working on, or you reach the goal that you were pushing so hard to get to. That's where like that crunch conversation can kind of get a little sharp, because it for some people that turns into passion. That's why it's work. So the way these assets are created is pretty good. There's a little bit of bake issues in the little crevices in here. That's the, I think that's the high. Because there's weird like artifacting stuff going on in there. Anyways, the carving or writings, the shapes on the sides of the sarcophagus are really soft. I think getting those to pop a bit more would be really beneficial. This looks good. It feels a little stretched over on this side in the details. Like these types of the noise details, I would suggest placing those in like in a detail normal in the shader itself. Because then you'll have control over tiling of that, and it'll be pretty uniform. Like this one in the middle actually looks like it's tiling, having a tiling detail normal, but I don't think it is. It's probably just UV'd more efficiently than the other two, unless these are all maybe on like the same UV set. See, I'm not sure. So with the way these are all displayed, I'd probably suggest like compiling it all into one image, and then I think where you're seen as the weakest right now is your materials, followed by your lighting. Like your materials are really, like these blues are way too saturated. Like there's no way in real life it's like that saturated, you know? And then the lighting is really, I guess, the lighting's really digital. I don't know how else to explain like the really dark spaces, and getting those filled with color starts to make things look more real. And then where lighting takes your materials only goes as far as your materials allow it. So like if your albedo values aren't within range of what you would expect that material to be in real life, as well as the roughness, you'll quickly see like there's a discrepancy in like how the material feels and looks in the lighting. Once those are spot on, then it's like you're starting to look at stuff as if it's like pre-rendered CG. It's so weird. Getting those values in tune is really important. I'm sure hey, what's up, Corey? I'm sure someone in chat can probably link you a good guide for albedo and roughness ranges, because it's really important to kind of get a good understanding of those before you start to exaggerate those ranges. So there's 60 people in here. Thanks everyone for hanging out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like it. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to all of you. EJ, how you doing? What's good? Been a little while. So this asset is also another example of like everything is there and ready, but this decal feels really big. I think that's a decal. Let me see if there's a wire. That is not a decal. Wait, what? Oh man. Okay, I see. So you're mapping all of that information in the UVs. Getting away from that will allow you to maintain resolution. And then like you also have like all these loops here. You can remove all those without even noticing, right? I mean, I would actually keep maybe like 3 or 4 of them and use it to change the shape of it so it's not so like not such a cylinder. Check the GIF linked in chat. It's for the tomb scene. Oh, that's fucking sick. That's pretty cool, man. So they're changing diameter. It's like you need another wave to get it to wiggle a bit. It's good to hear it, EJ. Yeah, that's really cool. I think doing that in combination with maybe some ripples on the ceiling would really sell the ceiling as liquid, right? Sick. Yeah, that's really cool. Man, then you got a little smoke coming out of the... There's a lot going on here that you don't see because it's a still image. Oh man, 40 with the physically based rendering encyclopedia. So having these bullet holes, I would totally make those like decals that you can place on the pillar. And then you can use like a mask to put where the yellow and the gray paint is. And then you can make a tileable material for gray paint and a tileable material... Well, a tileable material for paint that you can change the color of. And then a tileable stone for the pillar. Or concrete for the pillar. Because it comes off resolution dependent on itself. Like this one looks pretty good. The metals, like it looks like you're struggling with how dirty the metal is or why it's as dirty as it is. But the screen looks pretty cool, and it feels like there's paper behind or like paneling behind the glass. But like figuring out how metal works and looks, it's like that's all PBR stuff, and like where dust rests and ends up staying, and how it stays. Like this looks like a lot of cloud map type stuff. This one I've always liked just because the text is on the glass and then you get the shadow from the text. I think the metal that you have so far is probably the best that I've seen it. Like this spot right here is like, that feels good. That feels good. I think it's the dirt that's caked on is just really prominent, and it doesn't have a rhyme or a reason to where it's at, so it feels just kind of everywhere, which breaks the illusion of the material. Adding some color to the wear would do a lot. Like if you were to do an overgrown feel where there's like green mossy stuff. So a poster, the hanging banner thing, where's that at? Yeah, banners get difficult when they get long like that. I don't know how high res that is. You might not need to make it. So when you think about a banner that's like that, that's up in the space, it's pretty high up. A lot of the times you don't need to, it doesn't need to be too high res unless you can get close to it. That being said, though, I mean, if you're working on personal art, and I mean, it doesn't matter too much what the resolution is as long as everything looks pretty good. Yeah, I wonder, taking a pass on the dirt on your metals will help a lot, I think. I think researching PBR and understanding how the maps work and interact with each other, and just doing a lot of material studies will help you immensely. I think that's where currently in your portfolio you're the weakest. Like this looks really good. Imagine taking this and then tiling it on this pillar and then just using a mask to put where the paint is. This would instantly make this pillar look way, way better. And it would have a unique roughness. You know, like unique, all maps would be unique to it because it'd be a tiling material that stands on its own. And then you do the same thing for a paint that stands on its own and the mask. Oh man, the materials just end up looking so much more real so quickly. The etch logo? What? You mean the tech logo? Tech, man. CCTV. I love the wire work here. This is really good. An interaction between the paneling and where it meets the pillar will help. But see how, like, when the camera got close to this guy, see the resolution of this? You're like, oh, it says tech. I love it. The resolution of this looks really good, and then it gets up next to this pillar, and you're like, oh, the pillar's not high res enough. If you were using two different materials and blending with a mask, you could just tile that material more until it matches, right? That's the textile density problem that people are always wondering about. Like, how do you deal with that? It's one of the ways. So this is really cool. Dude, substance is such an alien thing. Bob's funny. I like him. Yeah, this one's really cool. It still feels a little flat, and I think it has to do with like where the ranges are with the in your height map. I wonder if there's a so there's a height map here. So like you have some of the grout coming through, which is good. You can add a little bit more of that depth. But there's a lot of range inside of the bricks themselves. That is the brick range itself, not the angle of the brick in Z space to your face. Z space to your face. So let's see here. Okay, we got this. So you've got a lot of like indenting in the brick surface, but not much of like this type of change in the height. So because of that, your bricks actually end up eating up a lot of the range that you have in your height map. And because of that, everything ends up getting a little bit flatter, resulting in the whole material kind of flattening out. Where you're getting most of your depth is actually where the grout comes forward all the way to like almost white and then recedes back to almost black in the crevices. But nothing is truly black except for a few spots. Your roughness looks pretty good. I would maybe try and separate the bricks out a little bit more from the grout. Let's see what this guy is about. This one's pretty cool. It's real. The albedo on it is very it's very strange to me. Oh no, Woogie, you gotta eat though, man. Eating's important. Oh shit, there's more materials in here. So this is really important. I feel like this should be a separate material. Like that should be out here. Just because it's different from this, right? This albedo is really strange to me. The height map is also kind of strange, because like the edges of these tiles are darker than the grout. Is that? No, that can't be the height map. That's the. So you've changed the order of these. So this is your height map, I think. Yes, because you've got scratches, and your scratches are white instead of black, or not black, but darker. They're not getting darker. So you can see your scratches are actually. You do this. Your scratches are actually lifting. And because the resolution of the mesh is really low, you're getting this. Those scratches, make sure those scratches go inward. And for presentation reasons, like if you don't want those scratches to be in the height map, You can make a variant of your height map in this that doesn't have the scratches and use that as your displacement, and then use the other one with the scratches to generate your normal. That's just for presentation reasons, though. Pub crawl, dude, enjoy. Enjoy, dude. Enjoy. Needs a directional warp with a brick. Oh, there's a I wasn't even looking. There's a procedural pattern in the brick. It's pretty subtle. Hey, Bob, are you sure you're not drinking already? All right, dude, do it. Be safe. Have fun. This one looks pretty awesome as well. I'd almost say, just for the presentation of it, is do a pass where it's not as reflective as this, and then get a layer of like wet droplets and kind of pooling of like water, like someone walked over it that just came out of the rain and like dripped water all over it. That you get your, oh man, it would look so sick. It would look awesome. This one I did not click on. So this one's probably like, the sculpt is really nice. I feel like the geometry is maybe too low poly. Like, don't be afraid to bevel. That logo, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, the asset looks good. It's just that it needs more treatment on like how the edges are handled with normals. Not enough geometry, and then making sure that your albedo and roughness are on point with your materials again. And like, are these little pieces in here, is this like old wood, or, you know? I don't know. Anywho, so you say environmental and prop artists. Right now, I don't think you're ready to try and apply for work, and that has to do with you need to work on your material PBR definition. You need to show more props or more environments. Like these three over here are really cool because it's showing that you're understanding how substance works and what makes this material look good. Like you've proven that. Getting single props or scenes to look really nice is where you're struggling right now. And I think once you get past that, and maybe like 1 or 2 more scenes, or like 10 props, you're in a good spot. If that sounds like really hard to approach, look at a prop that interests you, build that, and then get it looking good. And then after that, build a prop that makes sense in the same area as the prop you made. For example, a trash can, and then like trash on the ground around it. Build those two. That's 2 props, right? And then you're like, oh, well, now it needs something to like ground it. So then you make your ground. You get to use substance again. Make your road material, your asphalt, or whatever you want. And you slowly, like, you basically end up building a scene if you keep building props that are kind of related to each other. Without having the mental like stress of like, oh man, I have to build this whole prop like scene out of all these props. It's such a big list. Don't look at it like that if it stresses you. Anywho, work on that stuff, PBR, some more scenes and or more props, and you'll be in a good spot. All right, I'm going to switch over real quick, and then we're going to look at your guys' stuff in the Discord. Be right back.